Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. We are diving into some Lego Fortnite builds today, or a Lego Fortnite build today. I requested the Supply Llama to build for some fun. And because I really enjoy Fortnite and have been having a lot of fun playing over the last year plus since they made the partnership with Lego Fortnite. So, got my t shirt on, diving into this set today, and we'll be talking all things Lego as well as Lego Fortnite. So, let's get started. I'm curious to know. My question of the day was, do you play Fortnite? And if so, are there specific games within Fortnite that you really enjoy? So let me know in the comments. And please say hello and let me know you're here. I thought this build was super cute. When they first released and announced the partnership with Fortnite, they sent a really awesome mini build of the Loot Llama or Supply Llama, I guess is technically the term, although we all call it Loot Llama, of course. But they sent it in a little display case, and that's in my office, which is super fun. And it was actually before I was playing Fortnite, so I was less familiar with it. They surprised all of the creators with that Fortnite package, which was a lot of fun. And since then, I've gotten really excited about and really enjoy playing. I started with Lego Fortnite in particular, um, and that open world kind of vibe was really fun, but also a little challenging for me to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. So it took a little bit of time for me to get my feet under me. But once I did, I got really excited about it and really enjoyed it. And then I want to say it was kind of in the fall, I started to try out the more like traditional Fortnite battles outside of the Lego version and actually really enjoy them, which surprised me. It was not something that I thought I would like all that much. But yeah, so that's my background with it, which is a lot of fun. I love this Supply Llama. I love that it looks a little pinata like, which I think is really fun and obviously very intentional. And I love how it translates so well to Lego, which is great. So yeah, let me know in the chat your thoughts on Fortnite, but then also, how are you doing? What are you up to this week? Any builds that you're really looking forward to? I know Lego has recently announced a lot of awesome builds for June release, and I can tell you we are getting a number of really great ones to get to review, so I'm very excited about that. Some of the Fortnite ones will be coming my way to get to review, so I'll be sharing those with you soon. And then also quite a few Disney ones, which I'm looking forward to. So it looks like the first thing they're building are all the different pieces that are going to go inside our Fortnite llama, which is fun. And it looks actually like some of these are some of the items that you would be getting in the Lego Fortnite specifically, which is kind of fun. So I know there's different totems and things that you're supposed to be able to get, especially in the Ninjago gameplay part of Lego Fortnite. There's a lot of different, not gems, but what do you call them? It's like things that you can do that when you're crafting your weapon, you can strengthen it or add different components to it. And that's what this is. That's the vibe this is giving to me right now. Some water bottles. So let's see. Let me change to the live chat. I think I had it on just the Q&A, which is fun. So the Lego version is essentially Save the World mode meets Minecraft. Oh, fun. Also, hi, Brandon. How are you? Good to see you again. I don't know that I've played Save the World. So is that a part of Fortnite, or was that a part of Fortnite, or is that just like a separate game that you feel like they kind of blended the two together? So I've played a little bit of what I would consider like the Rock Band version as well, which I think is fun. But I feel like that's more fun for like group settings and parties and that kind of thing. And most of my gameplay is solo, so I don't necessarily do that as often. So, although I will say, depending on what artist is featured, I'll sometimes go into that just for the fun of like listening to their music in the game as well. I'm looking forward to a lug meeting at BAM Pasadena. That is so fun. Have you been to a meeting there before? I love that the BAM location hosts the meetings. And are they always hosted there? We have 4 bricks and minifigs now in Austin. The newest one just opened a couple months ago in Round Rock, which is just outside of Austin or just north of Austin. But it's still considered Austin, more or less. And I haven't been to that new location yet, but we did have our meetings at our original bricks and minifigs location for a while, and then we outgrew that space pretty quickly. So Save the World came before Battle Royale. It's more of a survival player versus environment mode. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. So very similar then, like what you were saying. That's cool. I've really enjoyed the Lego version. It did take a while for me to figure it out. When I first tried it, which was very early on to getting my Switch, I just couldn't get into it right away. And so I set it aside for later. And then I'm not sure what it was, but something got me to want to dive back into it. And so I dove back in and tried again. And after spending, I don't know, maybe a couple days just wandering around, I finally figured out like what I'm supposed to be doing and where you find some different things and that kind of stuff. So that was really helpful to better understand the gameplay because it was just confusing to me at first. And I've actually heard that from a lot of people that when they first dive into the Lego Fortnite, that it just doesn't make any sense to them. So I think you just have to push through the confusion and keep kind of wandering around and exploring until you find some solutions. Just yesterday, I started a brand new game for me, which is one that's been on my wish list for a very long time, but I saw it for half price and thought I need to pick this up while it's a good price. It's Link's Awakening. I've never played a Zelda game before, and so this was really fun. And when I say never, I mean I'm sure I did as a kid, like at my neighbor's house, but it wasn't something where I consistently played regularly. It was something where I just kind of dabbled a little bit when I was over at their house. So I never really explored it in a way that fully helped me understand the story and characters and all that kind of stuff. And so it was fun to dive into it. And I was reflecting on it yesterday as I was playing for the first time, just about how that general feeling of explore, walk around, try different things, and eventually you start to figure it out. That's just a part of gameplay now, and I like that. That open world feeling is now something that I've actually grown accustomed to and enjoy, whereas before it was something I didn't like as much. Which is interesting because as a kid, I played a game that had that format, called Myst, M-Y-S-T, and I loved it and was obsessed with it. It's a big, big part of my growing up experience, and so, now, that I'm into gaming again as an adult, it's just interesting to see kind of how, some of those things feel familiar, but also that I'm really enjoying them now, so yeah. Let's see what else you got. I've been to the holiday party at BAM Burbank. Nice. I've not been to any of the BAMs in California, to my knowledge. So next time we're out there, whenever that'll be, I'll have to check some out for sure. So I'm glad that you've had a chance to go before. Do you know a lot of the people in the lug? And have you been a member of the lug for a while, or is this a relatively new thing for you? I think we've chatted about this before, but I forgot. So I had a great conversation with my friend Maya today from Lego Masters. We got on a quick Zoom call and we're just chatting, and it was so nice to see her and see her face and hear what she's been up to. So that was really cool. So that was one fun thing that happened lately. We also went to see an artist that we both love and we'd never seen live, named Mika. And that was an incredible show. It was actually now, I would probably list it in my top 5 live performances ever. And I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I knew that I really enjoyed his music, but it was such a treat. So that was on Sunday night. So it's been a fun week. All right, I think we're gonna fly through this build, so I may have to look and see if there's other things I can build on today. So we'll have to see. But this is the end of bag 1. So we have this structure that is going to be, I think, the core structure that maybe things fold down from when it opens up. I'm not exactly sure. And then we get some 4 little bits. So let me put this here so you can see it. We're getting this little kind of token type thing. which definitely looks like one of the things that you collect in Lego Fortnite and then Ninjago section. We're getting these two little bottles, which kind of is giving that blue berry juice, except it's got the orange. So I need to look at the game again. It's been a while since I played the Lego Fortnite because I kind of switched from that to Battle Royale. But I'll have to go back in and see. And then, of course, some dynamite. So I got introduced to the lug via Christopher. Oh, yay, fun. Nice. So Christopher and Chad, we got to know last year a little bit better. They both happened to be at Brick Slopes, Colorado. So I think that's when we first met in person, if I remember correctly. And then also we're at Scareback Family Weekend. So that was so much fun to get to spend time with them there. They're great and so friendly and so welcoming. Actually, if you were at that holiday party, did you also meet John? I think we talked about this actually, now that I think about it. John, I think, was there at that time. Is that right? It sounded familiar to me, but I could be wrong. So, how was your weekend trip to Disney? Was it Disney this last weekend? All right, diving into bag two. So no surprise with this build, it's more snap building techniques. I'm loving, of course, that it's another sculpted build. So I'm gonna get some nice experience with some sculpting here, which is fun. And I also think this will be a great one to include in different ways in like our winter village and stuff throughout the year. So I started to rearrange my builds in the Lego room as I'm still cleaning it. I know I've been talking about that for months, but still getting it together so that I can go back in there as opposed to in the kitchen. And I have a whole section now for gaming, which is fun. So Bowser, whoops, Bowser right there needs to go up there, of course, as do the Mario Kart and Luigi Karts, which are right back behind me here. But I'll get them in there soon. And yeah, I was making some space also for some of the new um, upcoming Fortnite sets that I'm really excited to get to share with y'all. So that'll be fun. Yay, you did mini rides you wanted to go on for the first time. Awesome. It was magical. Woohoo. That's cool. So what rides were new to you? I'm curious to know because I thought you went more frequently, but maybe you go more frequently to Universal. Is that more accurate? But I do love that. That's really fun. It's always nice to get to go and experience something new, especially at a place that you go to somewhat regularly, to have something just feel different, which is cool. So I've also been preparing for convention season. So for me, that means going to Brick Rodeo and then possibly two others. I'm still waiting to figure out all the details and logistics and if we have it in the budget to do. But for sure, Brick Rodeo, which is good, and then maybe another one that I'll share about later once I know for sure. So Space Mountain and Soarin', yay! That's so fun. You've never been on those before? Really? That is so cool. Those are great rides for sure. Um, I think we went on both when we went a long time ago. It was like 2017. Since I'm a Universal annual pass holder, I go often. That makes sense for sure. Um, so yeah, so not a pass holder for Disney from what it sounds like. Just totally fine. Of course. All right. This is an interesting build so far. I'm actually kind of surprised at how quickly it's coming together. Uh, I guess I could have taken a look ahead of time, but it feels, or I thought it was going to be a little bit more parts intensive. So yeah, it'll be interesting that like this middle section is relatively open, I think, so that you can put some fun bits inside. And I like that it's looking like it's sloped on the inside, maybe so that things can spill out when you open the doors. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah. That is so fun. Who is it that you went to Disneyland with? That's always a good experience to get to go to different things. All right. So building out more of kind of the body, as you can see, the way this is structured. And I think this is all just internal pieces and things to this. So, whoops. DCA was a bit crowded in some spots because it was a concert day. Oh, fun. Okay. What concert was going on? Was that California? DCA's Disney California Adventure? Is that right? Um, I've only been there the one time, and there wasn't a concert, so I don't even really have a concept of kind of where the concert would take place in the DCA section, but that's pretty cool. It would be neat to go and experience a concert there. So yeah, we saw Mika, which was wonderful. And then next week we see Alex Warren. That'll be next Wednesday night. I got those tickets for Philip for his birthday, and that ends three big concerts that we had tickets for coming into the year. So excited to. Oh, fun! You went for Mother's Day. That's really cool. I bet it was a really exciting time to be there for Mother's Day. So, did they do anything with the mothers from, some of the different characters? Was there any, like, Mother's Day specific things happening? I kind of imagine that there would be, but also sometimes some of the moms are good, but sometimes they're not. So, sometimes they're more the kinda supervillain style, characters, so it'd be kind of fun to see what they do, for that too, so concert featuring various middle school orchestras. Oh, that's cool. It was in the Hollywoodland section. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of picture where that would be again, loosely in my head. So nice. All right. So obviously lots of snap building techniques. No surprise there. That's exactly what we'd expect for any type of sculpted build. I am eager to see, we're using some pieces like this that have the axle holes in them, so it'll be interesting to see how they use that to further stabilize the build. Um, so looking forward to that element of it. And then what else did we have? So we had that concert. We got to see my brother on Saturday and my sister-in-law and her parents. So they were in San Antonio, and we drove halfway to meet them in a place called New Braunfels, which is a really fun German community in just outside of, or about an hour ish south of Austin. Um, but we went for the day, got to spend time with them, which was really wonderful, and just really had a good time. And then what else did we do? Had some friends over. It was a really good weekend for sure. The start of the week's been good as well. I've been having some different conversations about some events and activities that are coming up, which is nice. So really looking forward to what's around the corner, and I'm excited to share with y'all once I have more information that I can share. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's been a pretty good week. On Sunday, I'm going to go to a Pokemon pre-release event for the new cards that are coming out. The new expansion pack, I think it's called Chaos Rising, and I've never been to one, so looking forward to trying something new. Maybe making some new friends there. So we'll see. Yeah, lots of building in my future though. So we've got a lot of review sets coming. So it's a good time to get through this one and a few others like the C3PO and the Star Wars logos that obviously are on store shelves already, but I needed to eventually get to reviewing them, and this is the perfect time because I have so many other ones that are for review before they hit store shelves coming up soon. So we just got the one of the Jurassic Park sets to review, and I'm excited about that one. I still need to finish Shrek. That was a really fun build so far, so really looking forward to getting that one done and complete. And yeah, lots of Lego fun over here as always. I did continue to work on the design of my Pokemon cards. You can see both of them here. I ended up getting the parts to finish out both so that I have two that I can display at Lego conventions. And because they ended up being the wrong scale, I wasn't able to submit them for the actual contest, but that's fine. I more wanted to build them just for the fun and challenge of building them. So glad that I had that experience and excited to get to share them at convention. So, okay, so this will go here. And now we've got more of our llama friend. So that was bag, or no, not quite done with bag two. So let's see, what else do we have? Was a concert feature? Oh yeah. I tried a Ronto wrap. What is a Ronto wrap? That sounds like some kind of delicious food, hopefully food, or hopefully delicious, in Disney. So, all right, and then here, these are going to be, I think, the windows that are going to go on either side, left and right, that'll flap open so that you can spill out some different things. I'm assuming. We'll see once I get into it. This part is interesting because it's designed to where you can actually put a door frame in the middle that swipes open, but also I could see them using this potentially just to create an opening. So we'll see how it all works in just a minute. So Brandon, do you play Fortnite at all? I have really enjoyed playing it a little bit more, which is nice. An unusual combination of pork, smoked sausage, and coleslaw on pita bread. Honestly, that sounds kind of good. So I just had a smoothie for lunch, which I have every day for weekdays, Monday through Friday, because it's easy and convenient, and it's something that I can make quickly for me and for Philip to make sure that we're both eating. But our more adventurous meals are dinner times or weekends. So um, yeah, anytime I think about food during the week, though, I'm like, oh, I would love to have something other than a smoothie, but it's convenient, it's easy, and something that we can take care of very quickly. So not every meal has to be a big adventure, I suppose. All right, so more of this kind of connected all together to create that opening. All right. So repeat that twice. I'm guessing this is just for the other side, of course. On the left and the right side of our llama friend. I played Fortnite since 2018, but mostly the battle royale mode. Nice. Do you play with other people or do you play solo? I've not played yet with other people in the game. I've really only played solo, and I've enjoyed it, which is nice. I do like, honestly, with gaming, I don't plan ahead all that much with when I'm going to be online, and so because of that, sometimes I just have to like, or I think it'd be hard to find someone to just instantly hop on with to play on a team or something, since it's usually just spur of the moment for me. But I also kind of enjoy that I can just pick it up for a little bit and then put it down and not feel like, oh, well, I'm committed to this for a long time because I'm playing it with a team or something. So, yeah. Although I do want to try that sometime. Cam and I have talked about it for a while, and they said they would help me figure out some of the different concepts of gameplay and such. Uh, so yeah, maybe eventually. All right, we're gonna attach these. So they are kind of going as a frame right around where we have those sloped bricks, which is fun. What'll be interesting to see is I think this Supply Llama has a code that you can then download some additional pieces to use within the game. So I'll have to check that out afterward and I'll report back on what came with it. But that's been something that's been fun with a lot of these Fortnite sets. I've redeemed one of them. I actually still have one to redeem from the set that I built in December. But I know the process to redeem them. It's just I haven't taken the time to do so. So this one, I think opens up some different equipment items that you can get within the game. I don't think it opens up some additional characters, but I could be wrong. So you mostly play with a group of friends. Nice. I was talking with someone who plays regularly with a group of friends, and they invited me to join sometime, and I was like, "Oh, that could be fun." So I just need to, yeah, plan a little bit more ahead, I think, for that. So cool. All right, getting close to finished. This is going to be the top lid for this portion here to cover it up, which is nice because then you can open up the top lid and dump some things inside. And I like that they're using this like telephone piece as a handle. So it connects on here and that gives us a little handle. It's going to be perfect for right up here. Ta-da! All right, good stuff. Okay, I am going to quickly double check that this feed is listed as public and not. Yeah, it's listed as public. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Cool, good stuff. Awesome. Yeah, I'll need to check out some of the gameplay with other people eventually. So not yet. We'll see. Okay, let's get into the colorful bits. So this is so fun. I love these color gradients that come with our llama friend. In just a minute, once that we're done building this one, then I'll bring out the other one that Lego sent me when they first announced the partnership. I think it might be the same as the one that you can build in one of the sets, but I'm not exactly sure. It might be a slightly larger one. So they individually numbered the models that they sent us, which is fun, and they came in these little round plasticky display cases, which is super fun. So I love having that on my shelf. It's a really nice surprise and a fun gift. Okay, so we got this little jar as well. Not sure if that's going to go inside or if that's going to be a part of the build, but I think it's probably going to be one of the items that goes inside. Okay. I love getting things in this dark orange color. So many great parts and pieces that come in this so far, and lots of opportunity to kind of modify past sets now with new colors, which I like. So I know dark orange has been around for a while. It's just we haven't had the pieces in every shape. So yeah, good stuff. I got the spark plug skin from the base camp and beef boss from the Durr Burger. Awesome. The Durr Burger, is that the Durr Burger set or is that the buildable burger logo? I have the buildable burger logo and I don't remember it coming with a code. But I was wondering, I think the Durr Burger set where it's the actual location in the game, I think that one is the one that has the code. But maybe I'm wrong, in which case I need to go back and find that instruction book again. So I won that actually at a convention. It was at Brick Slopes, and they give away a lot of sets through just like random drawings. And the guy behind me actually won it, and he didn't want it, and I won something he did want, and it was something I already had. So I said, "Hey, I'll trade you." And it was definitely like a downgrade for me in terms of piece count and whatnot. Was much smaller for what he had, but I was like, "I want that one." So it was a nice trade. So of the restaurant, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I don't have. Oh, fun! So this is a little backpack that'll go inside. Oh, this is cute. This will be a neat little build. I love when they make little brick built versions of some of these little things too. So while I was excited to build the actual llama itself, I was also really excited to see how they designed these little um, pieces of loot that are inside. So, yeah, so cute. Okay, so that's going to go there. Interestingly, usually with builds, oh, never mind. Okay. I was gonna say that wasn't lining up correctly. That's because I had it backwards. All right, let me get this on, and then I will show you this really cool little build of the backpack. Such fun part usage here. All right. So here's the little backpack, y'all. That's so cute. I like that they use that little round piece to kind of simulate maybe a whip or rope or something attached to the side of the bag. And there's the green area thing there too, a little clasp for it. It's so fun. So that, as well as, of course, this little jar, those have to be going on the inside for sure. All right, now we're going to build some fun detail around the outside of the llama. Let's see, did I miss a page? There we go. Some of the pages got stuck together. So this is a little tedious because we are just stacking cheese wedges on these little strips over and over and over again in a fun color palette. But will be fun to see once it all comes together, which is nice. So have you built any of the sculpted build ones? The Durr Burger one is really cute, and I'm so excited for the tomato head one that's coming out. It's one of the, I think, 4 big Fortnite sets. Not big. The other ones are bigger, but one of the 4 sets that are coming out for June 1st. We're getting some really neat ones. I need to take a look again at the sculpted build for Animal Crossing and see. I'm hopeful that they continue that process because I really love seeing a different style of builds for Animal Crossing. All right, so we're getting these little strips, and as you can see, it's kind of creating that fun little flared pieces of paper on the side of a pinata. So such a fun design, and it like works perfectly within Fortnite because you kind of blow it up to to get inside, so you have to break it, which is yeah, so fun. I love the creativity within Fortnite. I think it's really interesting to see just how different mechanisms work and like some of the weapons that you can use that are just silly and fun and over the top. It also makes it a little less serious to me, which I appreciate. I think part of what made me think I wouldn't enjoy the game is because I would classify it previously as a shoot 'em up game, which is where it's like first person shooter, which I mean, that is technically what it is. But usually those games to me seem kind of excessively violent. And I think that's what doesn't appeal to me with them. But the way that Fortnite handles it, I feel like it's just kind of fun. And the types of things that go into the game make it feel less violent and more silly. Obviously, the Lego Fortnite portion is very different because it's more open world, and those battles that you get into in that game are, obviously a very different approach than the types of battles that you do with battle royale. But regardless, I don't necessarily feel the same way as I used to about it. Um, so yeah. But this week has been fun so far. Like I said, I've been talking to some people about some opportunities that are coming up that I'm looking forward to, and I'll share more once I can. Tomorrow, I get to be interviewed on a podcast that's here in Austin from a consulting firm called Enzo Consulting. It's actually run by 2 incredible women who I worked with in the theater world here years ago. So, really looking forward to chatting with them just about leadership and creativity and Lego and fun. I've been listening to their podcast recently, of course, in prep, and it's been great because they've interviewed a lot of people from my past work in theater too. And so it's been nice to hear some familiar voices that I haven't heard in a while, and just hear about some of the great things that they're doing. Our community is full of really, really cool nonprofit groups and arts groups and such. And there's just so many wonderful people. So I was really honored that they reached out and asked if I would be a guest on the podcast. So once that episode shares, I'll be happy to share it with y'all. They're filming, I think this is season 4 for them. So they have a lot of past issues already, which is a lot of fun. So looking forward to that experience and also just to seeing them again because I haven't seen them in person in I don't know, more than a decade. It's been a very, very long time. And it's so interesting how you can live in the same city as some people, but as soon as either your work life changes or your hobbies or such, you end up not running into those same people, especially in a big city like Austin. You know, you have to kind of continue to go to the same places and do the same types of things to regularly run into some people. That said, there's also plenty of times where you just like randomly happen across someone that you haven't seen in a long time too. So it's not enormous to where it's way too big. But you can like kind of lose touch pretty quickly. So I love that social media has kept us connected. And it was after our season of Lego Masters aired that one of them reached out about this. So it's been a long time coming. Yeah, really, really looking forward to it. So I really enjoyed all of my time in theater and just had so much fun with it. And so it's something that I continuously miss. But at the same time, it is a huge time commitment. For anybody that's ever done musical theater, or even not musical theater, but just theater in general, the rehearsal process takes so much time, and you have to dedicate a lot of your free time to this. And sometimes paid, sometimes not. And yeah, it can be so much fun, but after a while, it just took too much time for me. So yeah, looking forward to catching up with these incredible women and hearing how they've been and hearing a little bit more about the consulting firm. The work that they do in consulting is actually kind of similar to and different than the work that I get to do. So I'm excited to hear from them about kind of how that's grown and shifted over time. So all right, we are making two more sides of like the feathery type paper off the sides of the llama that'll be here, covering up this left and this right hand side. Um, or actually, no, covering up this section here. So this window will still stay open. But I want to show you the process that we're doing first. So for starters, we took this plate and we added in all those cheese wedges every other row. And then every other row, we have a row of plates. And then we are taking this shape piece here, right? This curved slope, and we are alternating it. So I'll put one on so you can see. So we put one on like that. So it goes over that longer cheese wedge. And then just beside it, we put a singular cheese wedge, like so, right? So it creates a little bit of depth and character to it. Then we add another one of those curved slopes and finish it off with another singular cheese wedge. And I just want to show you the effect because it's so smart. So here is one section of it. And you can see how it kind of looks like rippling paper hanging off of, like almost streamer paper hanging off of the side. And then once we do the next row, we alternate and switch and move these longer pieces to the left or to the right, and that adds to the effect. So let me get one more row on, and then I'll show you up close for that one as well. It's a pretty cool technique. Let's see. My parents just got done with doing Murder on the Orient Express. Fun show. Nice. So I haven't seen the show. I saw the movie and loved it. And it was fun because I think we got the Orient Express Lego set shortly thereafter. So that ended up being a lot of fun to build in relation to the same time frame. But I think they also did a TV show of it too, right? All right, so here's what it looks like once you start to alternate, and we'll continue that process going up. And I just love the way that it's looking. So let's see. Are these your Pokemon builds for Lego Ideas? So these were the ones that I did for Lego Ideas. Yeah. So here's my Applin one that's finished, which was just so fun to build. And I made him a little bit scarier than what the Pokemon typically looks like. It's usually a little bit more cutesy, but I just wanted him to look a little more fierce. And then here is my Rowlett build. Both of the Pokemon use the technique that we are using for our build challenge this month. And so these are the builds that I'm submitting for the build challenge. And I told myself today to film and share the content that I had for this, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So the morning kind of took a different turn than I was expecting it to, with some other kind of more urgent things to take care of. So I'll get to that soon, but I wanted to show you. So yay. Hi friends. How's it going? What is this channel about? Oh, thank you. So this channel is all about Lego. My name is Justin. I am a Lego ambassador and also a former contestant from Lego Master Season 5. On Wednesdays, I go live and I build review sets. So today we're building one that's already on store shelves and has been for a while. It's the Fortnite Loot Llama, and that's just a lot of fun. But typically, what I try to build during these Wednesday live streams are sets that aren't on store shelves yet that Lego sends me for a review. So we're kind of at a lull between when I get some new sets in to do. So I thought this would be a good day to dive into the Supply Llama. But that's the Wednesday live streams. Beyond that, though, I also do build challenges every month. So I teach a build technique here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And then my builders and I all build something using that technique. So last month, between April 15th and May 15th, the build challenge was to make a round disc. So I taught the technique of how to build that very simple disc and gave some different examples of how you could use it. And then people are submitting their builds this week. So they're due May 15th. You still have time if you want to join. And I use that technique in the shaping of Applin, as well as in the shaping of Rowlett, which are the two Pokemon builds that I did for fun. So yeah, there's a quick high level glimpse as to what the channel is all about. And I'm on YouTube and on Instagram as well. But this is where I do these fun live streams. So happy to have you here and happy to have you join whenever you're free. So, and let's see, Bricks DNA Fortnite. That's fun. So, oh, thank you. Yes, this was a shirt that Lego sent us when they first announced the Fortnite collab, which was so fun. And it's one of the most comfortable shirts I own, actually. The quality of t-shirts that Lego uses for their swag is really, really good. So I'm thrilled to have it for sure. So especially now that I play Fortnite and really enjoyed it, it's been a lot of fun over the last kind of year plus. So yeah. Well, nice to meet you. And what is your name, if you don't mind sharing? So. Oh, yes, of course. Happy to say hello and happy to connect with new friends all the time. So, yay! I'm gonna look through. I think I missed some other chats from people. Let's see. During the Fox upfront yesterday, they announced that Lego Masters Season 6 will air in mid-season. Yay! That's so exciting. We have been waiting to find out, and they never share with us anything about the timeline for stuff. So very, very much looking forward to seeing whenever that airs. I was actually chatting with one of the producers last week, and not about Lego Masters, just saying happy birthday, to be honest. But was really curious if we would know soon, and of course they can't share anything, or nor will they share anything with us in advance. So that's awesome to hear. My husband, since he works in advertising and marketing, he has had the chance to, or he has a deep understanding of like how upfronts work and all that kind of stuff. So that was helpful when we were waiting to find out that at least we understood the language of what an upfront is and what that means and whatnot. But it still didn't give us any clear clues as to when things would be airing. So that's fun. Let's see, what else do we have? Yay. Murder on Orient Express was made into a play in 2017, so well after multiple films and TV shows. Still fun. Agatha. Oh, you mean they did the play version of it? That is so cool. Okay. So they act. Is that right? That is really fun. I love that so much. Theater is a huge part of my life and has been a huge part of my growing up experience, and also my relationship with my husband. We both love and enjoy theater so much. So I'd love to hear more about other people who really enjoy theater, whether musicals or not. But musicals is my main jam for sure. So let's see. You're so kind. A master indeed. I was on a show called Lego Masters. Yes. Do I consider myself a master? I guess. I don't know. But it always feels a little silly to me. I'm like, that's a title that feels like really big. And I feel like I am a creative artist who uses Lego as my means. But I also feel like I'm a lifelong learner. So the phrase master always feels a little like, is anybody really ever a master? I think we're all continuing to grow. So, but but yeah, so fun. Going to make a second post highlighting the technique on anger. Yay! I love that you shared that one, and also that you shared kind of where it was showing up. At first glance, I didn't see it right away, and then I don't know if you saw my comments before your response, but I think I was like, oh, I think I figured it out. I think I see it here in the shoulders. But that was a great use of it as well. Part of my intention with this build challenge or build challenge series is that people showcase and point out where they use the techniques. And the reason is because I see all of this as educational. And so I see it as opportunities for seasoned builders as well as brand new builders to take a look through the builds that people submit and be able to say, oh, wow, that's how they use that technique. Thanks for letting me push back a little bit on what you shared and say, please point out exactly where you use that technique in your build. So, but yes, you did a great job with it. And I love your build of Anchor. It's so cool. And I'm excited to see the final post of it too. You were really good at digital building, which I really appreciate. That's something that I am getting better at for sure, but my default is to build physical first. So I want to flex those muscles of the digital building more. All right, we have two fun strips of confetti type paper. One is going to go here. And it just really looks so fantastic, right? Like the coloring is so perfect. And I just think it just works so beautifully for our Loot Llama and looks so pinata like, which is exactly how it should be. So let's see, what else do we have? Um, Also, the red, reddish orange cottage using those claws from the Munchkin house. Yes. I love that claw piece in particular. And when I was working on the build for the Wicked project that I got to work on, where we were making the skirt and the clothing out of all the different Lego pieces, I was very inspired by that piece and by the roofs of those Munchkin Land houses in particular. And so that's what actually inspired the dress that we made. The Initially it was going to be those gradients of orange to reddish orange to red, and then we changed it to reddish orange to red to dark red because we wanted to lean more into the dark red color, and we still had a little bit of orange at the top, but we shifted it to that. And then over time, we just said, this doesn't make sense. People will look at this and instantly see Oz, and it'll be too much for us to have to explain and connect all the dots for people. So we switched it to solid black. And through the process, ended up using totally different pieces and parts. So moved away from those claw pieces that you're talking about. But it was really, really a fun design process for sure. So does the Lego Fortnite stamp on the t-shirt get warm? I live in a super hot place and it's kind of impossible to use those shirts. That is a great question. So this one, it heats up a little bit, but it's not as bad as some of the other ones. It is a little plasticky, but like I have a lot of other shirts like that often we bought when we were traveling, and the designs are like pasted on almost, and those are much thicker. So this one I actually don't think would be too bad. I live in Austin, Texas, where it's very, very hot in the summer, and I wear this in the summer as well, and don't seem to have too much trouble with it. So hopefully not the case, but I'm not exactly sure. So let's see. You decided to spend the 25 extra bucks on shipping to avoid standard pick a brick wait time for Chicago. So wait, are you building Anchor for Brickworld Chicago? Because that would be really fun to see. Um, let's see, what else do we have? Oof, back in college, I did a ton of theater. Really? Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, musical theater was a huge part of my life growing up. And then even into adulthood. And so when I first moved to Austin, my first 2 years, I continued to do musical theater. And then I just kind of fell out of it just because it took up so much time. So, but I love it so much. I believe in masters, not that they know everything, but they care about their craft. They get better and help other people to get there. That is truthfully, like, that's how I see this and value exactly what you said. So thank you for saying that. And I will own being a master if that's what that means to you as well, because that's how I feel about this too. It's never meant to be something that's propping someone's self up and showing I'm the best in the world, but rather how do you use your mastery or expertise to do something better? I used to cringe at the phrase expert because of that same kind of perspective. I worked initially in education, and then I moved from education into corporate for a while. And one of the phrases that's used in corporate a lot is subject matter expert. or SME or SME, sometimes people will say. And all that means is you have a deep knowledge of a specific subject matter. It doesn't mean that you are beyond the capability of learning or whatever. But I remember people asking about what my expertise was, and I downplayed it a lot initially because I felt like if you're only an expert if you have a PhD in something is kind of where my head was with it. And I think that's because I spent so much time working in universities where the only way to advance after your master's degree was you had to get a PhD. And that was like the way that you got to be finally at a place where people would value your contributions. And I fully disagree with that now and don't think that was the right perspective to have. Nor do I think everyone in higher ed sees it that way either. But it took a while to kind of get over my hangups over that phrase and such. So, right. And then we're getting this little, what do you call that? Suction cup launcher. This is exactly directly from Lego Fortnite, which is so fun. So let's see. My parents and brother are in at least one play a year in the small town theater in an old train depot. That is so fun. Posted additional pic of the cottage in the mock channel. And yes, anger for Brick World Chicago. Yay, that's so fun. I wish we were going, but I'm excited to see your full build once you're there. At Brick World, bringing Gingerbread Cottage on a book and path. Sylvester, Eagle 5 from Spaceballs, my Calliope and Bandwagon, Anger, and the Gingerbread King. Just a few things. I was registering all of my mocks for Brick Rodeo, and I have so many, and I didn't realize I had so many, but they've just been accumulating over the last year. So I'm excited about it for sure. Queen is $30 on 8 parts to complete. Gosh, isn't that frustrating? Orange Cat and Eevee parts at the moment expensive. Ooh, not fun. Yeah, it's surprising how expensive it can be, right? So I'm guessing that means you're holding off on the Gingerbread Queen, which makes sense. You have to prioritize and also what's doable in the amount of time before the show. So I know it's going to be here before you know it. I'm always surprised at how fast time flies around this time of year. It feels like we just started the new year, and here we are already mid-May. It's like, how did that happen? It's wild. You're beginning to fight the college stuff. I studied it. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time reading because my screen is really far away. I studied at what I is called sorry, it keeps moving. Studied in what is called the top university in Mexico and all Latin America. It's called Tec de Monterrey, an elite university. That is so fun. I love that. Um, I love it. I love it. Hate it. I mean, that's fair. I get it. Queen is small. Just had hoped her parts were in the Pick a Brig update a few days ago. Yeah, bummer. Um, People don't understand what it actually is. What your school is, or your degree, or what actually is, or what subject matter expertise is. Maybe that's what you're talking about. In which case, yes, I would agree. I think people in higher ed, especially when I worked there, they didn't really understand a lot of the concepts that we saw in corporate. And I loved my time in education. I really did. But I think it was really helpful for me to get out of that space and be in a corporate context to better understand the world beyond what I was seeing in a university context. So I think it's good to get exposure to lots of different fields, and I think that's also part of the fun that I have with consulting, is I get an opportunity to dig into other people's industries and work experiences and understand what their challenges are. And sometimes you find those challenges are very similar in lots of different places. And sometimes it's like, wow, that is a really unique and weird challenge that only you face, which is also really fun. So, okay, here's another little bit. And I love these little things that look like rock shards or whatnot. That's going to go into our pack. This is so fun, and I like that we're building those things as you go along throughout the build, and that it's not all just front loaded. So let's see. Yeah, the school, going back to the master stuff. Yes, no, a lot of people have no concept of what it means, why you need that degree, what you're studying it for, all that kind of stuff. What is your focus? I'm in tech and had debated masters, but went on to do more hands-on work. Curious on what type of tech work you do, and if you were to pursue a master's degree, what you would consider. For me, I know it's very different, and I know you're asking Bricks, not me, but my master's degree is in higher education administration. It has an emphasis in student affairs and in higher education leadership. So essentially, what that means is kind of helping people develop into adults outside of the classroom for the most part. So I did teach some college level courses when I was working at UT. So actually, at all the universities I worked at, I taught different classes, but they were typically leadership development courses where I was teaching leadership frameworks and structures and helping students kind of process through and think through what this meant for them. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And I also did a lot of work in programming and events beyond the classroom and outside of the classroom. So it was really informative and helpful and taught me a lot about the way people develop. And that led me to moving out into corporate where I was working in development programs. So often referred to as learning and development, but essentially it was like how people learn and grow and develop new skills and master those skills. Ha, there's that word again. Um, in the workplace. So really enjoyed all of the different experiences I've had. And it's been so interesting to kind of have all of this shape my career and where I bounced around. So yeah, of course. Yeah. So happy. I'm an audiovisual producer. I did movies, commercials, websites, and so on. That is so fun. I love that. Wish I was doing more consulting right now. I'm in the consulting tech division, but have been staff augmentation, hired out to 3 companies in 6 years. Oh, wow. Okay. Good stuff. You said PhD is the thing. So a lot of people think that way. And it's actually not. Agreed. Absolutely agree. I have my degree and never use it because the kind of people I find is classist. Honestly, it's so interesting to see. Like, there are so many people who have incredible life experiences that are far more talented than people who have just the degree that gives them the credit for being a master in some specific field. And that was something I always wanted to push back on, because we valued so much. And someone who is very cynical, that I worked with in higher ed once said, of course they make us get the PhD to advance to a certain point. We have to believe in our own products and sell our own products. And it was like, oh, I don't like that feeling. But yes, that actually resonates and makes a lot of sense that of course they need us to buy the product and demonstrate the product in order to prove that we're worthy to move up. And it was a very cynical response, but it was one that I think there was a little bit of truth to. So, and all that said, I still have a big passion for and value of higher education, but I also am at a place where I believe that it's not for everyone, and you can still live a successful life without any degree. And I think that we try to force everyone to go to college, and that's not necessarily the right choice for every single person. There's plenty of jobs that don't require degrees that require skilled workers and people who can do incredible things that they learn on the job or learn in different life experiences. So, and I would hope that we come to a place of being able to value people's experiences more than we value what they studied or what their degrees are. I do think as you advance in your career too, sometimes that tends to be more true outside of higher ed. Let me make sure that I'm doing this right before I mess it all up. Um, I do feel like I see that a little bit more in some advanced areas, but I also think that that's job specific. I think there are some roles where they're always going to require a specific type of degree, and that can be really frustrating and challenging for sure. So let's see. Yeah, right now I'm in tech, knowing Python and doing a lot of sysadmin and some networking for big telco companies. Others past postings were at Chevron in Houston and Bell Canada. Interesting. Yeah, that's what you mean. Awesome. Cool. Glad we're speaking the same language. Uh, Definitely, I work with a lot of open source. We get people from all backgrounds with good ideas and pull requests. Hands-on experience at the implementation level, so much more important in the field. Absolutely. Hi, Zach. How's it going? We're talking actually about a lot of work stuff, which is fun. Um, I'm cynical as well. That's my problem because I did it, but now I recommend everyone to get their hands down instead of the college route. Also, it's expensive. Like my master's degree, I'm still paying off, and I finished that degree a very long time ago and should not still be paying it off. And so there's a lot of things that I get frustrated about with that whole process. And with the fact that even the work that I did required a master's degree, I think there were elements of that that were true and needed. And I think there's elements of that that were overrated. So um, let's see. That's why I moved to the internet realm. Way more interesting people and projects and friends. For sure. Yay, fun. Awesome. Also, just side note, so my screen name is BradyJoynerBricks. My first name is Justin. People always think my first name is Brady, and I get called that all the time. And I'm not saying this to correct you or admonish you, but more just for you to know. So if you get around to watching our season of Lego Masters, you'll see that I'm on team John and Justin. And that's my first name. So my last name is Brady Joyner. It is immensely confusing. And had I had it to do over, I would change the screen name, but that's what people know me as now, and so it's stuck. So, but yes, very nice to meet you. So, yeah. Um, Let's see. I thought this was a Lego stream. I know, right, Zach? How do we get on these topics? I love learning about different people's lives and experiences, and it's always so fun to hear a little bit more about what everyone does and how they spend their time. Like it fascinates me immensely to understand our world and see how different our world can be. So, my name is also not Bricks. Oh, really? It's also my last name ish modified. That's fun. I love that. Um, yeah, people can be so clever and creative with their screen names. We thought it sounded good. It was a good alliteration to be BradyJoynerBricks. And initially, it was a joint Instagram account that I did with my husband. And then it kind of morphed over time into my account more just because Philip, my husband, had lost access on his phone. And so he just stopped posting from there. And I continued to. And then people just started to get to know me a little bit better through that. And yeah, so now it's more mine, and he's developed his own personal one into more of a Lego one now too, which is fun. So people are getting to know him through that too. But yeah, that's where the name came from, which is fun origin story for you. Um, all right, so this is the back portion of our fun loot llama or supply llama. And I love, again, using those techniques to create what looks like kind of pinata uh, streamer pieces. So, really, really fun. Very well done. Nice use of both snot bricks and uh, brackets. Come on. There we go. All right, y'all. It's got a really nice shape to it. That is really fun. And even though it's squared off, because they use that kind of ripple effect, it makes it look a little bit rounded. And I think what helps with that is that these two edges here on the very corners are much more flat with just the single layer of cheese wedges. So that makes it look less square. Now, if you look above, it looks very square still, but nice little approach. I also, obviously, since it's Lego, enjoy the little nod to it being a little bit squared off with some characters. I think that's part of what draws me to brick heads a little bit, is the blocky type nature of it too. So since you live in Mexico and it's kind of dangerous, better to keep low profile. Totally fair. Honestly, I think that's another reason why I would love to not have my screen name be my last name. There's so much information that anybody can get about anybody online on their own easily. But why did I make it easier? So yeah, Philip and I talk about that a lot and about safety and that kind of thing online because world can be scary sometimes, right? And then you go on a TV show and more people find you and it's like, yep, now my information's even more out there. If anybody wants to find me and didn't like me on the show for some reason, kind of makes me nervous that they could. So but it also feels a little bit like cats out of the bag type thing for me. So um that's okay. It's, yeah, I think it helps that the colors change every layer and the ones go down. to the layer below. Not sure it would look as well as single color. Totally agree. I think it would look really boring, and I think it would not have the same texture type style to it. Now, I did use a similar technique for that skirt for Lego, and what was neat was seeing how the light played on it. But that's because we knew we were going to be walking a red carpet and we were going to have lights all over it. And the black Lego bricks in particular create a really nice shine. And so that surprised me at how much depth was in the skirt, more than we were expecting it to be once we moved to it being solid color. And that was part of why I pushed back on it moving to solid color at first. Was I liked the color gradients, but I also felt like solid black was better for the wicked red carpet than this reddish color. So it made sense for sure, and I agree that it was the right choice. But yeah, I was a little nervous at first. But I think with this one, um, it would still have some dimension. But yeah, I think it needs the different colors. So I think the different colors are necessary. I also really want to use this technique to create a different type of pinata. There's the word. I knew it would come to me. A different type of pinata build. I think that'd be really fun to copy this technique, but do it on a different scale, or maybe make a banner that has this in like different sections. That could be a lot of fun. So I love to use Lego with decorating. So my mind often kind of goes to how can we use some of these in different fun, silly forms. So, and that's also, I've said this before, but I'll say it over and over again. I love building Lego sets because Lego designers are brilliant people who have honed their skills and who go to so many great lengths to create these really interesting builds. And there's so much that you can learn from them. And so, if we skip past building the individual sets just to get the parts and build our own things, I think you miss out on some of the knowledge that you can gain from these experiences from various designers. And that's one of the things I just love about getting to review the sets is it gives me lots of opportunity to build a number of the sets early on, um, and to learn from the designers as I go. So it's my 2 cents there. Whoops, I did that backwards. I need a brick separator. There's usually one handy. Oh, here's one. It's like constantly have one available. I was trying to do all of it at once as opposed to doing it step by step, and I skipped something. So let's see. Oh, and now I'm doing the cheese wedges backwards. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Cheese wedges to make it look like the tissue paper of a pinata is a good build technique, right? It's so clever. And I love the use of both the cheese wedges mixed in with these 1x2 curved slopes so that it looks like it's like curving over it. It gives that effect of like the little streamer type paper strips coming off of it. And they did a good job thinking through alternating where the cheese wedges and those curved slopes go, which creates an even better effect too with that. So, all right. So one more little section. Was that right? Looks right. And you can see how the light plays with it, right? It's really fun to see. One thing I found with the skirt that I did too was we ended up moving away from using any curved pieces, and we used just the geometric, like shaped, cheese wedge shaped ones, and ones that had some studs on them because they played better with the light than the curves. It was a much more stark, sparkling contrast when you moved the dress around, and so yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. So. Yeah, it is. It's a really cool build. I was when I saw this one come out, it was before I was too into Fortnite, and so it wasn't one that I had thought I would want to request, or that I thought they would send me to review. But then once I started to play Fortnite more, it's like, you know what? I'm going to request this one because this one's cool, and I love the sculpted build nature of it. When I first got the Fortnite package that came with this shirt and some other swag that was announcing the big partnership actually got some hate from some Lego community AFOLs who didn't think it was fair that I was getting something that they wanted, and that I'm not a true Fortnite fan and all this stuff. And it was interesting because I had so many conversations with some people, and many of them were like, "I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at Lego for making this choice." And my thought was, first off, I didn't ask Lego to send it to me. They just sent it to everybody. So it was a fun surprise for all of us. They didn't even tell us what it was. They said a surprise package is coming. That's cool. No one's gonna turn that down, right? And then when it arrived, I was like, "Oh, it's Fortnite. I don't even have a gaming system. Like, I never played before. What is how is this gonna how are people gonna react to this?" And unfortunately, some people reacted really poorly. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's really cool. That's really neat." And honestly, for me, it's stuff like that that got me back into gaming. So Lego did exactly what they were intending to do, which was to bring people into gaming who haven't gamed before. That was part of why Fortnite wanted to have the partnership with Lego, same with Animal Crossing and Nintendo and all the things, right? And it's working. And I'm proof that it works because now I have a Nintendo Switch. I play Fortnite. I play Animal Crossing. I play Pokemon now. Like, there's all different types of things that have come as a result of these really cool partnerships. So I take that feedback with a grain of salt. It doesn't it kind of rolls off my back a little bit because it doesn't necessarily matter to me if someone's going to be really upset about it. I'm not also like sharing content to say, look at me, look at everything I got. Like, that's not my vibe. And so most people also respond pretty positively to me with some of that stuff too. But like sometimes I'm like, y'all, come on. So, all right. So we get some little like extra little tail pieces. And I like that these could be like slightly moved or whatever to create a little bit more dimension too. So I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be displayed, but I think it's oh yeah, it's supposed to be displayed where they're kind of like at different heights and levels, which is fun. So yeah, like if you toy with it a little, let's see. There we go. That's fun. I like that. Is it your first Fortnite build? You should try the Bone Peely. I really wanted to do the Peely Bone one. I didn't get a chance to because I think it's already sold out and they no longer produce it. So I missed the opportunity for that one unless I buy it later, and I might. This is not my first Fortnite build. My first Fortnite build was actually the Mechatron Leader, which is massive. And that was shortly after starting to play Fortnite. So I was like, well, I'm glad that I know more about Fortnite before I build this one. That was one that they offered me that I was a little nervous that people might throw some hate at me about, and people didn't, which is good. But I built that one, and then I built the name is escaping me, but it's the purple and blue character from Lego Fortnite that lives in the water, and you can like ride him and run around. And he has 6 legs. Oh, what is his name? I cannot think of his name right now off the top of my head, but he eats the little blue and purple berries. So that was a really fun one too. So yeah. I picked up Peely. Oh, and also the I've actually done the brick heads, 2 of them, which I bought on my own because I really wanted them, and then or 4 because there were 2 in each pack, and then also did the Durburger sculpted one because he's really cute. So yeah, let's see what else we have. I picked up Peely Bone on some big discount. Nice. That's awesome. Going to try and make a full banana and a full skeleton. Now that would be super cool. Also, I'm Dad Core. I love Bioshock, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn. That is fun. Columbo, thank you. That was the name of it. I knew my one thing you'll learn is my brain likes to play tricks on me when I'm doing my live streams, and I'll lose my words, and I'm like, I know what this is. It's right here. I can't get to it, but for some reason it'll just escape me. So often I ask people in the chat to help me remember, like what's the name of this, or when did that come out, or whatnot, because for some reason I think it's maybe just the building at the same time as chatting that my brain is doing too many things. So appreciate the assist there. Horizon Zero Dawn is one that I wanted to try, but haven't gotten around to yet. the Lego Horizon one in particular. I did just yesterday, I think I was saying this at the beginning of the feed today, but just yesterday I started Zelda Link's Awakening. And it is so fun. I got it for half price at GameStop, and I was very excited about that. I am I was a member for GameStop. I'm actually going to cancel the membership at the end of this year, but you pay for a year, so it's already paid for. And I became a member just when Philip got me the Switch for Christmas last year, and I don't really like their business and their business model all that much, and so I'd rather support other companies instead. Plus, I don't really want to spend a ton of money on games and things, and it's more likely that I'll spend more money when I am a member and I'm like, oh, I need to go use my coupon for the month or whatever. But that's what happened yesterday. I swung by the store and picked up Link's Awakening, and I really enjoy it. It's really fun. It's going to be a great journey. And I'm glad that I tried it out and that I got it at half price because I was debating between that one and Echoes of Wisdom, which both have the very cutesy style of graphics, which I love. I think they're adorable. But I was hoping the gameplay would be enjoyable too. And I'm happy to say that at least in my probably 45 minutes of playing it last night, I do think the gameplay is going to fit right in with the way I like to play. So it's been a lot of fun. Also linked in the forum, Bricklink Designer Program is live. Yay! 3 Chicago builds up for vote. Awesome. That's exciting. That's really exciting. Doing a stream is hard. Your producer, technician, talent, and host. Yes, I agree, and I appreciate your acknowledgement of that. I think people don't often think about all that goes into it and how challenging it can be. And it's also something that I love to do. And I say all that not to complain, but just to acknowledge that, yeah, it takes a lot more effort than people are aware of. Okay, we're building the head. This is fun. So this is the back of the neck, and you can see kind of where that's going to curve down to give him a little bit of some of that same type of hair, if you will, from the paper type strips. And then we're going to build out the front, which is his face. But yeah, I think one of the things I've learned through doing my live streams, which now it's been 2.5 years of doing this, consistency has helped me develop some skill sets that, or develop the ability to keep doing this regularly and to retain what I'm learning each time, which is good. But then also, you just kind of learn different ways of doing things. You learn what works for you. You learn how to adjust it for when you have a guest and how to help them be successful with it too. And yeah, I just feel like there's so much that goes into it that that people aren't necessarily aware of. So, all right, so we put this piece in and it has the hole in the middle, and that's going to go into, if you remember, we had those yellow bricks that had the axle holes in. That's where this is going to slide in to attach the head, and we're going to build around it to flesh it out so that it's thicker because right now it looks really awkward, but I'm really liking how this is coming together. Hello, Missy. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Also, if you like Link's Awakening, Depth Store and Tunic are very fun modern Zelda likes. Oh, fun. Are they Zelda as well, or are they just similar to Zelda? Is that what you mean? Um, and are they cartoony or are they more realistic in the animation style? You did the right choice because his wisdom is amazing, but you need to play Link's Awakening first to fully appreciate it. Honestly, that was what I had heard. So I'm glad to hear that echoed from you as well. I had been doing my own research, and honestly, I've been looking into this for a year. So Philip got me the Switch for Christmas 2025. And of course, the Switch 2 was announced a hot minute after, which was super frustrating, but that's okay. And so he got me that with Animal Crossing because I'd already been playing the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on iPhone, and the Switch came with Mario Kart 8. And he also got us The Grinch, which was just cheesy fun, and it was like a cheap game, but we play that each year at Christmas time too, which is fun. And then I bought some of the Lego games, so I have. There was a sale on all the Lego games at the same time, which was great. So I got the Jurassic Saga, and I got the Star Wars saga as well. And those two I haven't really played as much. I kind of was into them for a while at the beginning, and then I just got so hooked on Animal Crossing and then Fortnite that I just didn't dedicate the time to them anymore. So I need to go back to the Lego ones and try them again because I really enjoyed them. So, how are you, Missy? How's work? Both are on Switch. Both what are on Switch? Sorry, oh, both games. Stuff. Right, what you were talking about. Good stuff. Oh, fun, fun. I was like, howdy. I haven't heard that phrase in a long time. Um, Or Bev's here. I said Missy. Oh my goodness. No, wait, you both are here. Hi to both of you. I was like, wait, I thought I saw Missy, but that was earlier in this in the thread. So hello, welcome. Good to see y'all. I'll be seeing you soon at our Texas meeting, I'm assuming, in a couple weeks. Um, so I know we've been talking about the Pokemon builds, so I have the final ones here, and I'll show you them in just a minute. I'm going to display them at Brick Rodeo, but I'm also going to be sharing them as my build challenge builds for this month. So, all right, so this gives us, let's see, more of this structure that's going to be kind of the neck. So this is going to go on the front of it. Is that right? Yeah. Oop. Let's see. Why won't that connect? There we go. All right, so that makes this go a little bit further forward, which works, which helps. And then we'll continue building out some other structure. And I'm going to pause from this for just a second and show you since you just joined. So here's my final Applin build. I made him look a little bit more ferocious than the cutesy little one that's on the card, but I wanted to make him a little bit more fierce and fun and have an open mouth. And I use that technique for the apples, so I'll be photographing and videoing these to share tomorrow or maybe today, we'll see. And then here is Rowlett, so also using that same type of technique, which is fun. So, yay! Let's see, what else do we have? Echoes of Wisdom came to because of the maze building mechanic in Link's Awakening. The creators were building a Mario Maker like, but with Zelda. Oh, cool. Copy paste mechanic became Echoes of Wisdom. That's really cool. That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing. I'm excited once I'm through this one to see kind of what comes next. Philip got me Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for Christmas this year. And then for my birthday, got me Mario Odyssey. And I decided to hold off on Odyssey until I'm done with Galaxy 1 because I'm partway through it and really enjoying it. And I didn't want to like disrupt that flow and start a brand new one. And then, of course, I just started Link's Awakening yesterday. So I kind of did that a little bit. But they are still things that I can kind of bounce between and have different experiences with them, which is good. So. Your names are interchangeable. Not true. You're each your own person, Bev. You are each your own person, and you each deserve your own name. But we love having both of you here. I'm good. The dog is super happy. We are home. That's good. You're being licked to death. I love it. I hope you don't die, but I do love that you're getting all the licks. So all the loving from the puppy. What does the apple have behind to hold it like that? Oh, good question. So both the apple and Rowlett, I'm going to try and turn it so that you can see a little bit from the side. There is a curved clear piece that sticks down into the bottom. You can see that there's like a round brick that is on the back of Applin's head. Those curved pieces have an axle shape on one side, and that goes into the round brick that attaches there. And then on the other side, it has just like a singular rod that can stick inside any brick that has a hole in it. So, so that's how it sits there. And what's nice about doing it this way is I'm able to shift the characters. Well, I'm not going to do it right now because I'll probably brick them, but I can twist them a little bit to the angled a little bit more to the left or the right by moving where that round one is on the thumb, if that makes, or where my thumb was, if that makes sense. So it allows you to pose them in really cool ways. The first time I saw that part, I think was in the Keith Haring set, which is by far one of my favorites. Definitely recommend. So, so yeah. Lacey Girl is a little excited to see us. I love that so much. Yeah, for sure. One of the things I love to do too is to show people here's the techniques I use to build these things because that's how we learn and that's how we're able to apply those techniques in different ways. So, like I said, with my build challenges and my build community, that's what that's all about. I want people to, my goal is for when people watch Lego Masters and then they tell me things like, I could never do that. I want them to see that, yes, you can. I used to think the same way. And then I developed some skills and was on the show, and it was super fun. And I learned so much more by being on the show with these amazing builders that I got to know through that experience. So that's a part of my big goal with that too. So, hey, let's see. Would you mind telling me your exact number of subs? I would like to know which one I'll be in a second. Um, yes. Let me look. Mhm. This is really fun. It's actually grown a little bit in this last week too, which, oh my gosh, 1,650. I didn't realize I even hit that. I thought I was at like 1,6. I thought I was at like 1,500. Huh, okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. And I don't know if you're 1650 or if you're 1651, but regardless, thank you for subscribing and thank you for joining. And thank you for interacting in the chat. We have so much fun here. And like I said, I do this every Wednesday. Some weeks I'll do an entire week. Yay, 1651. Thank you so much. You just made my day. That is so fun. Really, really cool. But yeah, so some weeks I'll do, especially when Lego sends me a wave of sets to do that are all in the same theme, I'll do like a week long stream. So when I did the Pokemon builds, I did all of those. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Which is a lot of fun, and it's typically during this time frame. This time works for me with my calendar, so I had to pick a time that was going to work in my schedule, which was a bummer in that it doesn't work in a lot of people's schedules, but it works in some, and there's never going to be the perfect time, right? So but yeah. Death's Door, you play as a crow, cool. Tunic as a fox, and they are cartoons, awesome. Tunic has an instruction book in game. Then you collect pages to learn things as it progresses. Put into vids on Discord. Awesome! I'm really excited to see this. Thank you for sharing. So done. It should be updated. Oh my gosh! Now I'm going to check. This is really fun. Yay! That's really fun. I've never seen that in real time. Thank you for that. That was like a fun little moment of joy. That's cool. Also, as you can hear, there's a Discord that I use as well for my build community. So you're definitely welcome to join us over there. If you have an Instagram account, I can send it to you later. I don't know that. I can't. I'm not going to get the link for you right now. I'm just not great at doing that all at once. But if you have an Instagram, feel free to DM me. I can send it to you. Um, and yeah, that's another place that we get together. It's a space that we use for two-way communication for the people who are in the build community, which is fun. So you can see some people kind of chatting about that in here too. So that was really fun. That's neat. I'm excited to look into that game. I tend to dive really deep into a thing and get all the way through it and really enjoy it and then want to dive into the next thing. And if I disrupt my flow with that, then I will like fall off the wagon with the previous one. And so some of these I'm going to have to like flag for later. I'll look them up now and then I will maybe put them on my wish list for like future gifts from Philip for new games to play. So, because yeah, I want to actually make sure that I do my due diligence in finishing some things all the way through. So, and I want to give myself permission if there are games that I start that I'm like, you know what, this isn't engaging me anymore, to just stop it, which is also fine. So, um, but yeah, that's fair. Because my Lego ambassador role is connected to Instagram, and that was where my community started, and because that community is quite large there, and I just have a lot of friends through there, it's made it really challenging for me to step away from that product. But I fully understand and support people choosing not to use them. And I think that's a little bit challenging with all the social medias, is that they're all owned by people that I don't know that I would say our values align per se. But yeah, yeah. Anyhow, totally respect that perspective. So, um, hence why I talked or I linked on Discord, as I know it's hard to keep track in stream. Yes, no, for sure, right? It is, which I appreciate. Let me here. Let me just real quick. I'm gonna flip over to it real quick, and I'll get the link. I forget that I have it open right here. Okay, so also this is newer to me, so I'm always like, how do I do this? I think it's the invite to server button. Here we go. Send a server link to a friend. Okay, I'm going to copy this. And I also have my stream set up where people can't share links in the chat. So I can, but y'all can't. And that's purposeful. Um, so, but hopefully this one will go through. So, Griffin uses it for a ton of recipes, but I'm more of a YouTube X guy. Cool. Um, if Lego people weren't so big on Discord, I probably would barely use it. It can be really confusing, for sure. But it's pretty big within the Lego community. And honestly, the only reason I use it is because our lug uses it, and that's what got me to understand it better. And really, what got me to understand it even better than that was being on the planning committee for Brick Rodeo. We used that for a lot of the planning back in the day, and so that got me to be better about using it. And then with the reason I started my own was because people enjoyed the build community, but I kept getting feedback from people saying they wanted to be able to interact more. And the way I had it set up as an Instagram channel, that was one way communication. So I wanted to switch that to be open for everyone to participate. Okay, so this is an interesting shape that I made here now that shows kind of the bottom of the neck and curving up to the head. And that's going to work really well to give some definition here so that it looks curved. Like I think they did a really good job with that structure. It's feeling better as it goes, as it comes together. So nice. I tried to do partial link, but I think it blocked it. But yeah, we said that. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. The links just they don't I set it up so that people can't share links. Um when I first started streaming in particular, I was really nervous about not nice people on the internet because I've had my fair share of that. And I wanted to make sure that my space was a space that would be devoid of that, which you can't avoid it all the time, right? You know, we've for those who've been on the stream before, you've seen some haters show up, and me have to navigate that in real time, which happens in life. But I haven't, for the most part, had too much negativity, which is good. So and y'all are fantastic, which is great. I love that whenever we've had anybody come in that's not so friendly, how the community of people in the chat also respond back to that person and get them to shut up pretty quickly, which also helps me take the time while you're responding to figure out how do I block this person? How do I get rid of them? They don't belong here. So, and it doesn't happen often, which is good. So. I started using Discord a long time ago, but never seriously until because my community was doing manding it 2 years ago. Right? Yeah, for sure. I have a few Patreons. I'm on a Discord and a few tech groups going on in there. There's so much. I also like I remember I downloaded Blue Sky when it first came out, and I have like 3 friends on there and I don't use it at all. And I downloaded Threads and I wasn't using it, and then now I use it a lot, which just kind of started to happen organically. But it's been fun to have a space where I can be a little bit more me and less my Lego ambassador type stuff that I post, because that's more of like stream of consciousness thoughts and such, kind of like X was. And I no longer use X. And so uh, that's provided that space for me that really that Blue Sky never was going to be for me, I don't think. So but I've had a lot of friends leave a lot of different platforms altogether. I don't really use TikTok anymore. It just wasn't really something I wanted to continue to use once the US bought the US version and changed it. Not really a platform I want to continue to support. So yeah, but it is interesting when your role um, like mine is as a content creator. And you know, there are expectations of what I produce and share and that kind of thing. Lego is very generous and kind and allows us to have a lot of freedom in what we share and how we share it. And they want us to be honest and provide good feedback and whatnot to our communities. So I appreciate all of that, but there's still this element of, but I need to make sure that what I'm producing is good enough, or, like, it's hard for that not to creep into your content. So I think that's partly why I was like, Threads is fun because it allows me to feel a little bit more free just to be like, this is what I'm thinking right now. So, all right, here's the other side of the neck. Let's see. That's going to go on here. And now this doesn't look weird anymore. The shape fits and it makes a lot more sense. And the colors, y'all, the colors are just so pretty. It's so perfect. So honestly, YouTube is going to be even bigger than it is now. The community feature they're building is going to be nice in a few months. I'm liking it more, and I have been debating making the community feature open to let people have two-way communication on here as well. I just haven't yet. It was just starting when I created the Discord, and I debated, like, do I just try and do it there? But so many of my friends in the Lego Instagram community were familiar with Discord and didn't have YouTube accounts. So I was like, well, I'll do the Discord first and we'll see. But I kind of like that we can start to communicate back and forth now in that. So I haven't toggled that feature on yet for mine. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer to see, but I'm excited because I think it'll be moving in the right direction. So all right, let's build the head. So here is where we're at so far. These sides, do they stay open? Okay, no, they close. I was like, I feel like they close. But yeah, yep. Anyway, they close. Yeah, we'll build the head. We'll also probably build some legs in here. That would make sense. So, okay, and I'm seeing the parts now that we'll use to close those sides too. So, all right. And then once we're done with this build, I will run into the other room, just right around this wall, and get the other one that I have that Lego sent us because I'm really excited that I still have it. So the Fortnite box they sent us came with this T-shirt. It came with a poster, and the poster tells you, like, it's kind of like an instruction page in a very Lego format of how to do something within the game. And I can't remember what mine is. So actually, if you want, I could go and see if I can grab that too. And we can unroll it and you can see what it looks like too. Because it's been probably a year since I've seen it. I just kept it rolled up in the little tube. So yeah, I'll go grab that too if you can be patient with me while I run to the other room to get it. And I'll do it after I finish our llama friend. But it came with that too. It also came with the Supply Llama mini build that's in the numbered um, little, not glass, but like plastic glass display case, which is so cool to have, and like something I was not expecting because I wasn't expecting any of this. And then it came with the shark ship from Dreams, which is hidden somewhere in Lego Fortnite, I think. I don't know if it still is. It might have, maybe it's just in a part of the world that I haven't explored yet. But I believe it's something that you can stumble upon when you're going through the game. And I haven't actually yet because um, my, again, I get really hooked on accomplishing tasks and completing things. And once I started to understand the open world format, I guess I haven't explored enough to find it, unless there's like a whole dreams section of Lego Fortnite, which there very well could be. They introduced a whole Ninjago world that's a part of it, which is so fun. It's like stupid fun. And it makes sense that they did it this year too, because it's the 15th anniversary of Ninjago. So they're going all in on all of that too. Um, but yeah, so the shark ship is also in my backlog. I've not built it. And that was because it was this surprise one that came. The box arrived in November, like around Thanksgiving. I actually think I opened it the day after Thanksgiving, was the day that I opened it and shared my content on it and stuff. And that's, for those who know me, the busiest time of year for me and my husband. Our house becomes a winter wonderland and everything gets changed over in our lives to be all themes for winter holidays and Christmas and such, and it's just so fun. But that also means that other things that aren't within that framework kind of get set aside for a while. So yeah. Okay, there's a sticker here. This looks like, I think, the nose of our Loot Llama. Let me get it on first, and then I'll show you. This is the first time I put a sticker on a piece like this, one of these like triangle pieces. So would love to see again what Lego sent you for the Fortnite Lego releases. Want to say you got those for a while. The llama I know has been on shelves for a while. Yes, yeah, I'll go grab it after we're done with this. It also came in a branded Fortnite box, and I've used that Fortnite box to hold a lot of my other Lego builds when they're not on display in the house, because it's like the perfect size and it's a beautiful branding for it as well. But yeah, let me go grab that in just a minute, and we can look at it together, which is fun because it'll be almost like a surprise to me because it's been so long since I since I saw it. So I had been moving some things around in the Lego room. I'm desperately trying to clean it, so I can get back in there for streaming. And I ran across all that stuff and was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot that I, had this because it was, like, tucked away, in there." And by tucked away, I mean it's been so messy that it's been hard to even go in the room beyond just to go and get the bricks that I need for building mocks. But, like, I don't like spending time in there because it's so stressful and messy. So, so yeah, I was, like, wanting to look back at it. Okay, so I think okay, yeah, so I think the head is gonna go like this. Here's the sticker that I put on, this little nose. I did it a little crooked. I should probably actually, I'm gonna redo it right now. Ah, that's gonna bother me. Fun tip, if you've never done this before, I feel like I've done this on so many streams. If you get the sticker wrong, take your sticker sheet, take the side of it, and you can slide it under the sticker. So you kinda have to work slowly. What I do is I try at a corner of the sticker, and I work my way down, back and forth, and you can see already I was able to get it underneath that sticker. And now you can very slowly peel up the sticker. Oops, that was very fast. Shoot. Let me find the sticker sheet again. Where did it go? I lost it. Here we go. Okay. One more try. You can very slowly, once you get it underneath there, though, slide a brick separator underneath and actually peel the sticker up, and it doesn't damage the sticker. It's amazing. I've done this with the older stickers where I got something from Bricks and Minifigs that already had the sticker on, and the sticker was super crooked. And I was like, "Well, that's not gonna do." There we go. Got the sticker off. I can take my brick separator and redo the whole thing, and it'll stay on. It's such an awesome hack to have handy. Okay, which way does this go? So these are gonna go down like that. Please hold while I apply a sticker better. Okay, I applied it better, but I'm also noticing that the sticker is printed a little crooked. So the side or off center. So it's fine. That's as that's how does this go? Here we go. That's as good as it's gonna get, but I feel good about it. So um yeah, the glue doesn't get busted. Now, I don't think you could do it over and over and over again. I think eventually it probably it hits a point where it's not okay to do that anymore. But I've never had it damage the sticker at all. Like I have had once or twice where like it bent the corner of the sticker, so you just have to be careful with it. So I very much like your method of using the sticker sheet. Do you have any advice on getting the sticker not curling when removing it? That seems to always be an issue I run into. Um, it will curl a little bit when you peel it back up, and I don't know how to not do that, but that's where using the brick separator I find really helpful to install it again, because that at least holds the left or the closer to you side of it flat, and then I'll use my fingers to kind of like guide the front of it down a little bit too. So it's not a perfect science, but it is a helpful tool. And then I was very excited when I was looking at the package of this set today to notice that these eyes are in this one. The reason I was excited is these are the same eyes that we use for the chicken for Hey Hey from Moana. And I thought that that was the only time that they were ever used. So it was fun to me to see another use of them in the Lego world. So neat little piece of information for y'all. So yeah, these are so cute. I want more of them because I love with character building. I love different eyes for different types of character shapes and things. Okay, it's so funny because in this little picture, like This to me looks like a little squid. Like, that looks like what we're starting to build right here. So you could actually probably, like, figure out, a way to adapt this to make it look even more like a squid. So oop, and I missed a whole section of things. This is what happens when I get distracted with sticker placement. An entire page got missed. Let's see. Right? It looked like a squid to me. That's so fun. I love when, I see silly things in life like that, and when other people see it too. I also kind of love it when other people have no clue what I'm seeing, and I'm like, "Well, maybe that's just my weird brain." So, let's see. Yay. Yeah, Zach, I think that helps me is I do put a little bit more of the brick separator on it when it curls, especially like if you start to put it down and then you have to peel it back up and put it down again, it always warps quite a bit, and makes it harder to put on. But yeah, sticker placement is my least favorite thing in Lego. And that said, I actually love stickers and want Lego to continue to use them because printed parts are more expensive, so they make sets more expensive. And then also, you don't have to put the sticker on. So if you didn't want that part on the stick or the sticker on the part, then you have a completely clean part that doesn't have it on it, so that you can reuse that in a different way. Um, so I think that's always a win for me. Okay, now it's looking like a chaotic bunny or something. I'm not exactly sure what. Once I get these little ears on, this is silly. Okay, let me get these on and then I'll show you. Yeah, if you look at it this way, it looks like that's an animal, right? It looks like that's, I don't know, like maybe the black thing are weird teeth or something. But it's actually meant to be this way. That's mouth. Rawr. So really weird and really silly. A snail. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's fun. What if we flip it this way? What does this look like now? Not exactly sure what this one is. That's fun. Oh my gosh, I love the snail emoji. That is so fun. Okay, good stuff. All right, so let's get this guy ahead. Ta-da! Okay, and I like that they use clips for this because then you can adjust the face of it, but it's meant to be pointed down quite a bit. And I love that he's just got that bottom teeth. I think it's so cute. All right, let's get these other big stickers on. And what's interesting is the stickers aren't shaped like a square, but they go on the square plate. Um, Sometimes it builds like this. I won't put the stickers on because I want to reuse the parts for something else. But this is one that I think I'm going to keep together. So I think I will just bite the bullet and go ahead. Right, we're going to do this twice. What's funny is the symbol on the side of this that's on that sticker is one I've never really paid much attention to in game. But now that I look at it, it looks exactly like a kind of smashed sideways treasure chest. Do you think that's what that's supposed to look like? That's what I'm seeing here. At first, I thought it was like um, kind of like a diploma, like a rolled up pieces of paper. But now I'm seeing a treasure trunk type thing, right? Yeah. Snail or slug, right? That's absolutely what it could be. Okay. Um, yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, definitely a treasure trunk. I've never noticed that before. But also in game, I've seen like four of these llamas. I don't feel like I come across them very often. Um, and I don't think I've ever actually come across one in Battle Royale. I think I've only ever come across it in Lego Fortnite. Do they exist in Battle Royale? Does anybody know? I just heard it. There's a bird outside, and there's a little bird nest right by our patio. And Philip showed me the other day. He said there are four. He saw three, and then later we saw there's a fourth. There are four little baby bird eggs, and they're on the ground. And at first we thought it was that the bird laid the eggs on the ground, but now we think it's that. the eggs fell out of the bird nest. So we hope not. But okay, so these just like flap open and closed. They're not made to stud in. Ah, it's like applause, applause, applause. But I do like that the way this is set up, all of the loot just gets dropped in the top and then flies right out. So you can hold the door shut and drop it in, but like this door is already wanting to open. So it's not going to be something that holds it steady, which is fine. I do like and appreciate when there's play features with this type of stuff, even though I'm not going to be one to probably play with the sets. I like them more for display. It is fun to see when they include some played features, and I think for this one it makes sense because a lot of kids are get really hooked on Fortnite and will really enjoy or have really enjoyed this set over the years. Um, so yeah, it fits for sure. Now these I'm thinking are going to be the legs. Well, yeah, it looks like these are little hooves at the bottom. So here's one. Yep, definitely legs. So these just clip on. I also love how tiny they are. Hello, how's it going, Hector? So I'm unfamiliar with Fortnite. Really, is there an official Lego Fortnite game? There is. So Fortnite is a series of a wide range of games that you can play. And they're all, a lot of them are kind of like mini games that you can play for, a 20-minute session or something. So, for example, one of the games that's in there is kind of like Rock Band, where you're playing songs and you have to like strum along or hit the drums at the right sequence and that kind of thing. And I didn't know that actually for a long time. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's this other fun game that's in here. Lego Fortnite is one of those mini games that's in there. It is an open world setup where you wander around and you collect resources and you build buildings and you fight off wolves and bears and other creatures, and they're all Lego-fied. So every single thing in the game looks like Lego, which is so much fun. And you complete tasks and such, and just do a lot of really interesting things. So a lot of fun within it. I like the open world format of it. It means that you also don't necessarily have clear direction going into it, but it's one that it continues to build over time. So you could play similar to Animal Crossing forever, and it never ends. It just like keeps going, right? Fortnite Battle Royale is what people most likely think of when you say, I play Fortnite. And that is a first person shooter type game where you pick the character that you're playing. You enter a battle arena that is like an island, basically, with all these different neighborhoods and such. And you run around and destroy all the other characters before they destroy you. So they drop in 100 players at a time, I think, for that one. And with Lego Fortnite, when they introduced it, there was actually a lot of concern because Fortnite Battle Royale can be quite violent. And Lego has a pretty strong policy against violence in their sets and such. And so they got a little flack at first for it. But it's actually the Lego Fortnite stuff that's inside the game that is what they created. That's so not violent. Like, yes, you defeat a bear, but when you defeat the bear, he falls apart into pieces as opposed to like bleeding and such. And also in Battle Royale, there's not like excessive blood and stuff. If there was, I wouldn't play it at all. I don't think it would appeal to me in any way whatsoever. Um, but yeah, so Lego Fortnite, it's an entire world within the game. And what's cool is you're on this island, and just like in Animal Crossing, where you have your own island and yours is shaped however yours is, and every island is different. It's the same with this one. So everybody's experience with the game is different, but they do have the same types of tasks that you do from player to player. So with each update, they introduce new parts of the island. And so there was a whole update in December, I think it was, where they did, when you enter the game, you actually enter Ninjago world portion of the island, which is all brand new to Fortnite. And there, the games that you play and the things that you do are specific to Ninjago. So it's been a lot of fun for me because it's also taught me a lot about the lore of Ninjago, because I knew a little bit about it, but we've been diving deeper into it as this year has been the 15th anniversary. So I've been more interested in it too. And it's been fun to see there are now adult fans who grew up playing Ninjago, building with Ninjago and such, who are now adults and really still enjoy it and have a deep connection to it. So yeah. Anyway, long answer to your short question. um, and when I first started playing was the Lego Fortnite. I found it to be a lot of fun. So, any other augments to what I just said, Hector and others who play? Because there's others who know maybe better than I do. So, let's see. Okay. Yeah, Fortnite doesn't have blood or kills. It's actually eliminations. And when you're eliminated, your avatar disintegrates. I appreciate that phrasing. I didn't ever think about how you're eliminated, but yeah, that does feel better. It's like Ready Player One. Oh my God. I love Ready Player One. And I love that you, of course, you know that. You choose what you were into shooting, music, racing, and building. They also announced a full Disney section coming soon. What? I did not know that. Okay, I'm blaming you that I don't know that, Hector. Even though it's not on you to keep me abreast of everything, you're the one who I feel like I always learn the most from with this kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, that's exciting! That's really exciting. Yeah, I haven't actually played in a month or so, and part of it was when we went on our trip in April. I brought my Switch just for the flights, but I did not want to be playing games while we're in Paris. I wanted to be enjoying Paris. And so when we got home, I picked back up with Animal Crossing, but did not pick back up with Fortnite. And I just haven't played since then. So I actually today I was like, I should probably play again because it's been a while. And I'm building a Fortnite set today. So but that's really exciting. I remember you sending me the pictures of the ones from Hercules, was it? Wait, yes? Yeah, I think so because it had Meg was one of the options, and I'm sad that I missed it, the window to get them. So, also they you earn points that you can unlock characters in with, but you earn them at such a slow rate that they want you to just spend all your money and buy them, which is really annoying. And I choose not to do that. I choose to just earn them, and when I earn them, then I can actually unlock the characters because I don't need to be spending more money. So, oh yay! Okay, now that I've attached the legs, they added these pieces on, which fold up, and that keeps that door from just flying open. So this one you can see doesn't have the lock on it yet, but I will get that there. And that will be so that I can load it up with all of these supplies and not have it spill out everywhere. Okay, you're almost done. All right, we've got this all in. And now we're gonna put all of the llama or all of the loot in the llama. So let's open this up. Come on, there we go. Open the hatch. So first, let's take a look at him. So actually, let's take a look at her. I decided she's a girl. Her name is Louisiana the llama. Luis for short. So Luis, and she's real cute, and she's got all kinds of fun pinata-like texture around her body. She's got the tiniest little legs, and you can see we attach this bottom structure here too that helps lock those legs into place so that when I set her down, she's gonna stand, which is good. Her head can go up and down, and that's pretty much it. The head and the tail we can adjust, which is fun. And then this will open once we flip open this. Whoops! Whoa, that's not supposed to happen that way. Let's try that again. Then that will open to where that doorway flaps open, and you can see on the inside maybe that we've got some bricks that are sloped in there, so that when you drop stuff in, it is for sure going to fall out. So let's open this up. I'm going to set her down and I'm going to show you all the different pieces of equipment that we got for her. We have a backpack, which is actually pretty cool. This is the inside of the backpack. Here's the back side, which is so fun. My favorite is that little ring used to kind of simulate rope. So we'll put that in here. We have dynamite, of course. We've got 2 water bottles, which are to kind of boost your energy again in case you've been battling some of those bears. Oh, the struggle of battling the bears, right? We've got this little potion bottle. We have, oh, sorry, Upland. We have a plunger launcher. And this is fun. In the game, when you launch it, oh no, it fell open. Oh no. When you launch it in the game, it lets your character fly across the screen and all the way across the world. So you can travel by like launching it from place to place, which is fun. We have this, which is, I think, one of the like fiery rock elements that comes in the caves that you have. And then we have this, which is like a totem or like a token that I believe when you use one of these, it helps increase your strength with weapons or it helps increase your health or something. So all of those are inside. And when you need access to them and you find the loot llama, you blow him up, blow her up, and everything falls out. But only half of it because half of it went this way. So if we open the side, the rest falls out. That's cool. It's cute. It's well done, very well made, very well designed. Oh, we still have that fiery bit in there. I love that in the game, you literally do see all of these pieces that are brick built in the game, and that they made all of these pieces brick built for the loot tube. So kudos to the team that designed this because they also were probably involved in the game design, which is great. And yeah, so that, my friends, is our Supply Llama, or as we call it in the game, Loot Llama. Super cute, super, super fun. Okay, if you will hold for just a moment, I'm going to run to the other room and grab my Fortnite stuff that they sent me a year ago. So be right back. And while I'm doing that, I'd love for you to write in the chat if there are other games that you like to play, and if so, what they are. Let's see, here's the... Okay, this would be the poster. Do I have access to the shark ship? I think so. It's in my backlog. I know you can hear me because I'm using my AirPods. It's in my backlog and it's kind of buried down here because my backlog is a little too big. So let me move this box real quick. See if I can get to it. This ship is so cool and one that I was really wanting to get to build. So I was excited they sent it, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't built it yet. I need to find time to do that. And then I need, here we go, our little friend, the loot llama in the glass jar. All right, I'm coming back, y'all. So this is our Lego Fortnite tube that has the poster in it. So we'll open that in a second. Here is the loot llama that they sent us. That was before any of the sets were available or anything. It was so sweet and thoughtful and really, really cool. It says Fortnite 391 of 625. So there were only 625 of these that were made, although I believe the design for this one is identical to the one that you can get in the set. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to have to take a look at that and see. But that was still really sweet to get that. And then, ta-da! This is the dream set, the shark ship, and it's called the Nightmare Shark Ship, and is really, really interesting. It has a few different ways of building it, just like most dream sets. Actually, I think all dream sets have multiple ways of building it, and so you can see the different options that are here. Really, really cool. And these are designed, or this ship is something that I believe you can find hidden in the game, in Lego Fortnite in particular. So let's open up the poster. Let's see. Peely and Sparkplug's base camp. Wait, I missed something. I missed a lot. It's like Ready Player One, you choose what you're into. Oh, yeah, right. Epic Games is going to be the real Ready Player One Eminem concert in December 2024 inside Fortnite, announced the new Fortnite metaverse. Oh, and also the Disney Island was announced. Whoa, that is fascinating and bizarre, but yeah, so interesting. So, Ready Player One, the author of the book, which became the movie, and it's an amazing book and also an amazing movie. He lives here in Austin. His name's Ernest Klein, and I got to see him back in 2013, I think, at a convention in no 2011 at a convention in Orlando, and I was there actually leading a whole series of things that were happening. But he was there presenting and sharing about his book, and it was so fascinating. I got to hear him speak and read from it. Actually, no, it might have been 2009. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was in the early 2000s. Um, and he gave copies of the books. But it's so fascinating. And the book is actually it's similar and different than the movie. If you're not familiar, I definitely recommend watching the movie and reading the book, but I would read the book first if you can. The book is full of 1980s references across all different IPs. And the movie uses the same concepts, but it's full of Steven Spielberg specific references. And that's because for a film, they have to get all of these different rights to use different things in the film. And Spielberg was the director, which was really smart of him because it also allowed him to back reference a lot of his filmography and movies over time. So both give you a different experience with it, but the book is just a gem. It's so interesting. He's written a series of other books too, and I've liked all of the ones I've read, but I loved Ready Player One. So and the concept behind Ready Player One, which is what you're talking about, is really overwhelming and weird and cool and scary in a lot of ways. So, all right, let's pull out this. Oh, let's pull out this poster so I can show you. This is one that I was debating when I saw it. I was like, oh, I need to get that out again and look at it and maybe frame it and put it in the Lego room. I just have run out of wall space in there. So let's see. Llama set looks great. Isn't that fun? It's a really cool one. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I love that I'll have them on display by my little one, which is fun. So let's see. Something I love when new items come to the Fortnite shop is to check their Lego counterpart. Yes, agreed. And see the creativity pour into that version. Absolutely. I like the Lego versions almost better almost every time. So started the book, couldn't finish it since I got robbed. No, someone robbed your bag? Is that what you're saying? Which is not fun. But now that you're talking about it, I might start it again. I'm sorry if what you're saying is that you got robbed, because that's really awful. Okay, but yes, definitely recommend the book for sure. All right, let's take a look at the poster. Again, it's been a year since I've seen this. Gosh, and it's like it's trapped in here. This is kind of awkward to get out. Doo-doo-doo. This was the first big PR box I ever got from Lego too, where I was like, whoa, this is huge and different and so interesting. All right. Okay, this is so fun. So mine is number 6 out of 10, and it shows little things up at the top. It says, how to befriend wildlife. Step 1, grow a pumpkin. That's what you see in the top row. Step 2, butter up wildlife with a pumpkin. Step 3, underestimate the power of pumpkins. And it shows how she is now overwhelmed with sheep that all have attacked her for the pumpkin, which is so fun. And she's actually one of the main characters that you get to play with Fortnite in the beginning. So it's cute. There were 10 different little kind of instruction booklet pictures that came to the different creators that got these PR packages. And so I got 6 out of 10, which is fun. And I think I remember seeing that Jean got a different one than I did, which is fun to see too. She's here in Austin as well, so she's also a friend in person, which is great. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So I'm glad that I now can say that I play Fortnite and actually understand it, and play Lego Fortnite in particular, because all of this makes a lot more sense to me and means a lot more to me than it did back when they first sent these. So so fun. So this was the first thing I think they've ever sent that was like the biggest thing they've ever sent of a PR package. the first of the bigger PR packages they've ever sent. I've gotten since then 2 other ones. One was they had us all do a Mindstorms project. No, a Ninjago mindfulness project, which was really cool. And they sent us the Dragonstone Shrine, and they also sent us the base plate that was already that was added to it just for our sets. That is gorgeous, and they asked us to explore the concept of mindfulness with the build and to showcase it in our own ways. And it was really fun to see how each creator did it differently. For me, what I built was I looked into the concept of rock stacking, which was something that I remember seeing a lot of growing up when I would go into the mountains in Colorado. And people would make these rock stacks, which is very much a mindfulness and meditative process. And so I built a rock stack in front of the Dragonstone Shrine, but I had it so that it was attached to moving elements and attached to a motor so that the whole thing was spinning. And it was like this series of these floating rocks that were all just kind of spinning in front of Lloyd, who's meditating on the Dragonstone Shrine. So that was honestly one of my favorite opportunities with LEGO earlier on. It was such a neat project to get to do. And that package came in a individual box, and on the cover of the box, they had listed the name of each creator that got them. But my box they sent to somebody else, and they sent me their box, and so mine says a different creator's name, which was a bummer, but that's okay. And then and it's in like stylized Ninjago font. So like I have another creator's stylized Ninjago font box, and I don't know if anybody has mine. I never found that out. And then the third one that was the big PR box that they sent this year was the ridiculous rectangular, what are they called? Rectangular clog shoes for their new partner, announcing their partnership with Crocs, which we all know obviously was their way to get a major attention at the Crocs partnership. And it worked. It really worked. People were all up in arms about these look ridiculous. And it's like, well, yes, and Lego knows that, and they're not going to sell these, even though they did sell like a very small amount of those ridiculous rectangular Crocs. But that was also really fun too. So there's my long stories of kind of silly PR things that I've been sent from Lego. But the Fortnite Lego Fortnite stuff has been a lot of fun, and it got me hooked on the game. So kudos to them for being smart in their partnerships and marketing. Because now I play Animal Crossing and Fortnite and Pokemon, and actually as of last night Zelda. So oh dear, too much. So let's see, what else do we have in here? Isn't that a fun poster? Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like it's cute, and I like that it's little hand drawn animation style and like roughly drawn too, which is really fun too. So it's fun. Have you tried Droid Tycoon in Fortnite? I have not. What's that one? New Star Wars mode. Oh, neat. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Thanks for Andrew. I'll have to look that one up today. I'm sure they released that during May the 4th week, I would assume. So maybe last week would be my assumption. Actually, I think someone was mentioning that last week in the stream when we were building the Star Wars thing. So last week we built this guy, and we built C3PO. So those were a lot of fun. Next week I might have a new yes, I'm from Lego Masters. I'm also from Austin, Texas. I was on season 5, so if you've watched the US Canada version of Lego Masters, you might have seen me. I had orange glasses, but I did have purple hair, so I'm happy to have you here, which is fun. Yeah, the logo set, that Star Wars logo was really fun. I love learning new skill sets as I'm building, and that taught me a lot about building new like how to do brick built letters and fonts, which is fascinating. Another set that's great for that is the Nike not Boost, can't remember what it is, but the font is, there's 4 letters. What is it called? It's in the other room and I can't think of it right now, but it's a Nike set that has a big shoe and it has the 4 letters in blue and they're all italicized, which was so fun. Not swoosh either, but it, yeah, I can't remember the word that's on it. Oh my goodness, this is gonna drive me nuts. Yay! I'm glad that you watched the show. That's so fun. It was such a fun time and by far one of my favorite experiences. Dunk. I think it was the dunk. Thank you. Yes. Lego Masters was so much fun. I had the time of my life. I grew very, very close with my build partner, John. We actually had never built together until the show. So that was such a cool experience to get to collaborate with him in real life and get to know him. And now he's one of my best friends. And also just the family that we formed with all of the cast members, like everybody that we got to build with are incredible people. So I would go back in a heartbeat if they had another opportunity to do it again. Definitely recommend. So yeah, thanks for joining, and thanks for watching and supporting. And if you haven't seen it, or if you want to relive it, I'm planning to do a rewatch where I watch one episode a week, starting towards the end of May, because that's when our season started. And I might do that where I do interviews on here with other contestants. I need to get in touch with them and ask who would be interested and see if I can collaborate all that together. So we'll see. But I'm really excited to watch that season again. So it's on Hulu and Disney Plus. I used to watch the episodes and then try to do the challenge myself. Yes. Okay. That is how it's done. I love that so much. And I definitely recommend that you continue that process. There's actually Nick, who won season 3. That was from Nick and Stacy. That was his process on his Twitch stream for seasons 1 and 2. He just was like, I'm going to challenge myself to do this. And then my friend TJ, who's a Lego ambassador as well, out of Salt Lake City, or around Salt Lake City area, he did that with our season last year too, which was really fun. So yeah, you found me on TikTok. Yay! You'd never watched Lego Masters before. Really? Oh my gosh. Well, it is so fun. I was just looking up where to watch it so I could go watch your season. If you're in the United States or Canada, I think for sure you should have access to Disney Plus and Hulu. And obviously you'd have to have a subscription, but that's where you can find the season. It was season 5, so it was the most recent season. And I think the way it shows up in Hulu is the first 2 episodes might actually be the Celebrity Spectacular from the year before, but they're listed as season 5. It could be, they may have fixed that now, but regardless, that's where you'll find the 10 episodes from our season. So if you watch it, let me know. I'm not going to say how long I lasted because there are people on this thread that don't know, but you can easily find that out. I did mini builds for all of the episodes that I was in. Yeah, I'm just not going to share that just because there's others who haven't seen yet. So, but it was so incredible, so much fun. And yeah, if you come to conventions like Brick Rodeo, which is in Austin in July, I'll be sharing all those mini builds on display there. So you can see those in person. Definitely would love to watch the rewatch streams too. Yay, that's so fun. Yeah, I will be. I need to figure out logistics of that, and oh my gosh, it's next week is when it would have been. I think May 19th was our first episode, so I need to look that up. But I will post about it in my YouTube community area, and I'll also post about it on Instagram and in the Discord as well. So let me just give me a minute to connect with some of my friends on the show. Was it staged or real? Such a good question. I would say that it was real, but I would also say that there's elements of all reality shows that are staged. So the parts for us that were staged, if you will, when we first walk into the room and we see what the builds are. So we walked into the set and you see in the back of the room, that we called that the gallery. That area would have, so I'll give an example. The first episode was a Star Wars episode. We walk in the room, there's all of those planets hanging in the gallery, and we are all amazed and shocked and overwhelmed because we know it's going to be a Star Wars challenge at this point, just based on visually seeing. Those reactions that you see are real, because we're actually walking in and seeing that for the first time, which is so fun. And they would film that once, and have us walk in and have the whole reveal. And Will Arnett would tell us what the challenge was and all those different things to let us know. And then when he would say, "Get your brick on," and we would run, then they would pause, which was really awkward. But they would pause and they would have us all go over to a table, and someone would come who would legally read through, here are the rules of the challenge, here's what is expected, here's what you have to do. And then they would be filming us as they were doing that, and they asked us all to give a verbal confirmation that we understood the rules of the challenge, and we all had to say yes on camera. And then after that, they would have us go stand back up where we were standing when it was revealed, and Will would say, once again, get your brick on, and then we would run and actually start the challenge. So it was kind of awkward for us because you would have all this momentum and excitement, and then it would like be stopped and like abruptly. But they did it for legal reasons, which I actually really appreciate because competitions get competitive and people want to know that it's fair. And so that was their way of ensuring that everybody had the exact same information. And additionally, if you asked a question during the challenge and the answer was something that the producers thought everybody had to know, they would also make sure that every single team got the same answer as well. So they wanted to make sure that it was a fully fair, even playing field. So that part was a little bit staged. It was an interesting piece as well. And the other piece that was a little different too, thanks, Zach. And I love this question. And this is the type of stuff that like my husband was so interested to find out too. Another piece that was interesting behind the scenes is if we had like people always ask, did we get bathroom breaks and meal breaks and all that kind of stuff? During the builds process, we didn't have official bathroom breaks. If you had to go to the bathroom because you're mic'd, you could say, I need to use the restroom. And out of nowhere, magically, someone who worked on staff would show up at your build table and would escort you to the bathroom. And it was so weird, but the bathroom was in a different stage. So we had to like leave the whole facility, go outside, go across this other road to this other stage and use their facility. And then we would have to be brought back. And so they wanted to make sure that we didn't get lost. But we didn't have official breaks per se during it. So your time was still going. For meals, though, we got breaks. And so if you can imagine, if a build took 8 hours, you can expect that we probably had a lunch break after about 4 or 5 hours of building, maybe even less, maybe 3 hours, and then went back in the room, built some more, and then probably also had a dinner break, and then went back in the room and finished the build. So it wasn't exactly 8 hours from, 9 to 5 or whatever the timing would be to match all of that exact time. And part of that too is because they're working with union workers who were filming and doing all those things. And those people had required breaks that they had to take. So because of that, we as contestants would also get those same types of breaks. But those breaks were stressful because you'd be eating lunch and your brain is running through all the build that you need to do next and whatever. And so typically we would eat quickly and often quietly, and then we would go off with our build partner for whatever was left over of the lunch and finish talking about what are we going to do when we get back in the room to can pick up the progress. What was fun though is the longer you stayed in the show, the more we got comfortable with the rhythm of all of it, and the more we would ask each other during those meal breaks, like, "Oh, what are you building? Oh, that's really cool. Oh, what challenges are you running into?" And it was like so collaborative and fun. Like we got to hear people talk about their builds and share a little bit about it because in the build room, you're focused on your build in front of you, and you don't. There's not time to look up and enjoy everybody else's builds because it was just like high stress, but fun stress. So yeah, it was kind of stressful, but again, fun stress. So, did you build all day, even if it was like 12 hours? So what I will say is the union workers had required times when they had to be able to step off to take actual breaks, and that included a max amount of time that they would film during a day. An example is the last episode took 18 hours to film. You can imagine that 18 hours of filming probably all didn't happen in one day. So that's all I will say. But it also wouldn't be stretched out over the course of an entire week. So we would film 3 to 4 episodes a week. It was super fast and very overwhelming and very fun and very stressful and the most fun I've ever had. And I would love to go back and do it again. So yeah, really, really cool. So those are some gems for you. For those of you that are new to this feed and just haven't heard much about Lego Masters and the behind the scenes experience. As I said, I'm planning to do a rewatch of the different episodes, and maybe if I can, I'll have guests join me that are from my season 2. And so think about other questions that you have as well, because and also if you're doing the rewatch with us, think about questions specific to those episodes, and we'll cover those as well. So. So when you interacted with the other builders, was that your genuine interaction or was it a script? It was genuine interactions, like literally unscripted. When we did the interviews where we were in the side room, they might ask us to like repeat an answer a couple different times. And sometimes that was so that maybe they'd get me saying the answer. Sometimes they'd get John saying the answer. And that way they would have multiple clips to pick from. So that was a little clunky and awkward. But like the banter between builders on set, that was all literally just us in the moment, which was fun. And we had such a clever and funny and fun group that it made it so easy to banter with these people. Like all of us could talk to the wall for hours. So many of us were able to naturally do some of that kind of stuff on the fly, which is fun. So the other thing that is important for the people to think about is when the show is casting for people that would be contestants, they're looking for people that are good builders and that would be good on TV. And sometimes people can have one of those skill sets really well, but not the other skill set. And so there's a lot that goes into their selection process. They look for people that they think would be able to make compelling TV. And that includes being strong builders and being able to be silly and fun and gregarious and happy and positive and angry and show your emotions and whatever, right? They want all of that to be in there as well. So I only ask because you say you talk about each other build when eating and in the show. Pretty sure like one time two teams did the same build. Oh, yes. One example is there was an episode where two teams were both building pigs and they didn't find out until they were partway through. We could look around and we could see what other people were building, but we typically didn't do that a lot because the time is ticking. So for that build, we had, I think, 6 hours, which is not a lot of time to build. And so we dove into our build right away and started to build it and craft it as quickly as possible. And you were zeroed in on your thing. And the show noticed quickly that there were two big pig builds. And so they made sure that when Will Arnett did his check ins with the teams a couple hours in, that he poked them about it and was like, "Oh, did you see that that team is doing a pig build as well?" So they push some of those things to come out because they want it to, right? But all of that would have happened before our lunch break if we got a lunch break, which we would have, I think, with that one. Um, to where even by the time it's lunch break, you're probably not going to scrap your build and start over at that point. With a 6 hour build, there's not time to completely start over and build a completely brand new idea. So in that case, it was just like, oh, well, I guess we're both gonna. It'll be the battle of the pigs a little bit. And in that case, one group built a giant pig. And one group built four different pigs and a farmer. So they were very different builds anyway, and they looked totally different. But it was fun for them to play on the like, oh my gosh, you're both doing the same type of thing, right? So like some of that, yeah, does show up in the show, and some of that would be prompted by like Will might poke us and get us to talk about another team or whatever. Like there was one where he had us do a compliment off with the Canadian team, joking about how we were head to head battling with them, but they were the nicest people, so we have to play nice, and you know. So it was all silly banter that was like prompted for us, but it wasn't like we weren't fed scripted lines or anything. We weren't really told anything about what we were building or um, really anything at all. We were going in blind about all of them too, or going in without knowledge with all of them too. So I'm trying not to say that in that previous race. Were you in the one where you had to recreate an item in the room? That is my favorite challenge from our season, and was so much fun to watch. And Ian, who was in our season, he was the one that I was most concerned about going into the show, of like top caliber best builder in the room because I had seen him for years at Brick Rodeo building builds to scale just like that. So like that was the coolest experience. Also to watch him in action in his element for sure. So when they tried to recreate the bed was crazy. I mean, that was just like that was the biggest OMG moment of the show, I think. That and also when Anne fell, which I hated that they like re-aired that a million times, but we knew they would because that's good TV, right? Which is silly. Okay, enough about Lego Masters. I'm just going to put a pause on it mostly because I want to save some of these great gems and great questions for the rewatch of it. So please keep thinking about them though, because I'd love to know what questions you have. And I'd love to also answer them if I can with another guest that's from the show to get their take on it too. So, but thank you for those questions because they're really, really wonderful and lots of fun. And again, like I said, one of my favorite things about the show is getting to talk about the experience and share about the really cool things that came out of it. My number one thing that I gained from that experience is um, two things. Number one, the family that we built, this incredible community of people that are my friends for life, and I love them to pieces, and they're all so talented. But number two, my self confidence grew so much as a result of that show, and I owe a lot of that to Amy and Jamie, who are wonderful coaches and mentors on the show, as well as to John, my brick building partner, who just spoke so much positivity into me and helped me see my strengths and my greatness in a way that I was not letting myself see. So I that was the best experience for those reasons as well. So yeah, no, and no worries about you're saying my bad. No, not at all. I was mostly telling myself stop answering all the questions because they're wonderful and I want to save those for the rewatch as well. So you're totally good, and I love that you're asking them. So please always feel like you can ask anything in these streams. I just was like, oh shoot, I was wanting to do this rewatch and answer these exact same types of questions for people during that time as well. So every week on Wednesdays, I do a live stream during the same time frame. It's typically around 1 o'clock Central Time, sometimes a little bit later depending on my mood and what's going on in the house. I sometimes will do longer ones when I have like a full wave of sets to review. So I've got the Fortnite wave coming. So I'll probably do a week-long Fortnite week, which will typically be like Tuesday through Friday, building a little bit every day. But I will also be doing some of these fun rewatches of the show and answering some questions. So that's another thing that you can look forward to. If you're on Instagram, I'd love to connect. I'm BradyJoynerBricks on all the platforms. So please say hi on the other platforms too. And yeah, I'm so happy that you're here and that we have some new friends here today. So thanks for joining. And thanks, friends who've been joining weekly and regularly for joining as well. Y'all are fantastic. And it's a wonderful community. One last plug for y'all. If you are a Lego builder who wants to grow your skills, please join my build community. It is free. It is fun. I teach a build tutorial each month, and then you incorporate that build into your build for the challenge each month. So this month, what I taught, actually, let me grab it. What I taught for this month was how to build a round disc. So let me show you what that looks like. If I can find it. Where did I put it? Oh, you know what? I think I took this one apart for my build. But I taught people how to build a round disc. So like one that's like this, that's round on all four sides, and you have to use snot bricks or stud snot on top bricks that go out on different sides. And I taught people that technique, and then you have to incorporate that into your build. And you can modify it or change it. So for instance, our friend Sean in the chat shared about how he built a large scale brick built anger from inside out, and the shoulders on the character that attach the arms use that technique. Or for me, what I did was I built these two Pokemon using that technique and then reshaped it for this one to be like an apple and reshaped this one to be like an owl. For Rowlet and for Applin, which are Pokemon builds. Where you can join it, we have Discord and Instagram. Thank you, Zach, for answering the questions. You're so awesome. If you go to my BradyJoynerBricks on Instagram, there's a channel that you can find in my profile that's called Build with BJB. And you can join there. And in there, I also post the Discord link. I dropped the Discord link earlier, and I'll drop it in here one more time so that you have that here as well. So that's where you can find all the information for the builds or for the build challenge. I'd love to have you join. Again, it's free. It's just fun. And I share Lego instructions for builds that I do online as well, which sometimes tie to these and sometimes don't. So most of those are free. Right now I have them all free, and they're set up to where if someone wants to give a tip, they can, which is fun. But that way, anybody who wants to download them can for free. So, big hugs. Great to see y'all. Thank you for joining. This has been so much fun today. I really enjoyed building our little Loot Llama friend. And yeah, look forward to seeing you again in future weeks. And stay tuned for some Lego Masters to watch. Build kindness. Bye, y'all.